a bit of a wobbly spell for the Ospreys. How important is it that you put some momentum back into the season?
Well, you say wobbly spell, but we can't let one setback on the weekend taint what we've done so far this season. And as disappointing as it was, there are positives to be taken out from a young group, and it's very much the same this week. It's a new group of players, if you like, with the youngsters coming in, and it brings a new dynamic and energy to the group. And there's no doubt about it that what we said this week is, regardless of the competition, every game is an opportunity to put on an Osprey shirt, and the demands are the same, whether you're a senior player or a young player, and that's to go and win as an Osprey.
This week, who should we be looking out for?
There's a lot of players that are going to be given opportunities, but for me it's about how the young guys and the senior players integrate, and what we've worked on is trying to have that seamless transition where boys come from our B group, our development pathway, and are able to step into a senior team and feel at home and be confident with the call in, to know their roles. So we put a large emphasis on not on the individual in terms of performance, but in terms of responsibility, knowing what they've got to deliver for the team. So yeah, no doubt there'll be some youngsters that put their hands up and ask questions, and that's what we've asked from the group, really.
As a group, how important is it that you develop players, given that we're in an era, if you like, of big money rugby?
It's critical to our sustainability, there's no doubt about it. And if you look over our history, the players who've gone on to gain success at international level are boys that are local and homegrown. And you've seen over the last year with boys like Nicky Smith and Dan Baker come into the fore. Like last year were part of our development pathway. So LV, as we said, is a different dynamic, and there's be boys like Joe Thomas now, who will potentially be on the bench, who will get their first taste of an Osprey environment. And that development pathway, we invest a lot into it, but it is the future of what we do, so it is key.
Can you tell us a bit about Joe Thomas? What does he got to offer?
He's a boy that's gone well with Swansea, and like many boys, we've had boys training with us from the C group and the B group, our development pathways. And it's just about exposing them to the environment. And I'm a firm believer the sort of more intense the environment, the more demands that have asked the players, the quicker they develop. So as you said, we're trying to accelerate their development by having them around the experienced players, and then they can take their experience back to the Premiership and look to develop their games. It's not something that happens overnight, and we're just trying to grow a culture. Trying to accelerate some of the youngsters' development, and it's an exciting time.
With Dan Baker, you just mentioned him, can we expect the same over the next 2 weeks?
From
Dan Baker, is he likely to feature in any of these LV games?
No, he's returning to injury from injury at the moment, so he's unlikely to be a part of it. But there's other boys that'll figure in the back row, like Ollie Cracknell, and boys that will be new to Osprey supporters, but boys who we see as being key components in our future.
Yeah, is Ollie Cracknell, we've heard a lot about him, is he a good prospect?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, there's all the youngsters are here for a reason. It's they've shown well, they've come through the pathway, but they've earned the right to be here. No one's here out of sympathy, or you have to earn the right to wear an Osprey shirt, and whether you're a young player or an old player, it's the same demands, as we said.
Can we say, Dan, that places are open for the league match after the effort in Treviso? Will there be an opportunity for some of the youngsters perhaps to push for inclusion in the league matches? Absolutely,
there's always an opportunity, and we've emphasised that to the group. As we've said, regardless of what competition we're in, whether it's Champions Cup, whether it's LV, at the end of the day you're representing the Ospreys, and we want to win every game we play. So if boys are putting their hands up and performing and give us something different, then I'm sure that Steve would definitely consider that. That's what we're all about, really.
Yeah, in the November games, what did you learn from those matches, the LV Cup matches?
Yeah, they were tough experiences, no doubt. Going against a big, heavy Saracens pack in terrible conditions, and you know, like I said, there is a steep learning curve for a lot of the boys. They're into the deep end, and you know, we'll have boys that it's the first time they've ever been in the senior environment. So it's about exposing them to that and trying to learn. It also helps us understand about individuals and where we need to improve their games, but then and help individuals to pinpoint where they've got to be better as well. So within a team sort of performance we're looking for, there comes the individual development, and like I said, just giving these boys the opportunity to be exposed to this level and help them develop.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, playing at a place like Kingsholm will be a great experience. Great
experiences, you know, 2 fantastic venues with Kingsholm and then going up to Bath as well. So, you know, it's something we're all looking forward to. And, you know, like we said, it's LV this week and the week after, but then that leads us back into a real tough league campaign with Edinburgh, and then playing 3 of the top 4 clubs. So we haven't got time to rest on our laurels. We've just got to strive again to put last weekend behind us and start building for the campaign to come as well.
Have you got any players, Dan, coming back after injury? You know, the likes of thinking like not just Dan Baker, but Ryan Bevington and...
Yeah, Bevs has been back in training this week, so he's sort of building his load. He's done some unit stuff. Jonathan Spratt will come back in to lead the team, and he brings that experience, you know, and helping the youngsters as well. So, like I said, we've got an experienced spine to the team this week, which perhaps in the earlier rounds we didn't have. So it's a case of seeing how the young players integrate now with some of those senior boys. So
yeah, and what are you expecting from Gloucester?
Well, we've obviously looked at their footage, and they're a physical bunch. They look to put us under pressure with line speed. So the most important thing for us is, you know, we expect that, and it's how we deal with being away from home, showing composure to get in the right areas, and also imposing ourselves when they creating those opportunities. There's opportunities there for us, but you know, we know unless we're clear on our roles, and we're clear with our calls, and we're not going to get the execution we need. So this week has been very much about, you know, putting those foundations in place to, you know, go up there and give a real good account of ourselves.
Yeah, and will the emphasis be on the result or getting a good performance?
Well, you hope for both, don't you? You know, I think a win doesn't usually come without the performance. So first things first is concentrating on getting that performance right. But like I said, every game we play in, we're going out to win. There's no doubt about that, regardless of who's wearing the shirt. Yeah. And that's the Osprey mentality.
Yeah. You've had a few problems in the front row. Dan, any sign of people coming through, you know, to put those problems right?
Yeah, it's difficult, and you know, there is no hiding place. It's a tough learning experience for a lot of the boys, but it's just something we've got to try keep working hard in the units and looking at where we can make improvements. But at the end of the day, the young boys have got to learn fast, because there is no quick fix. It's just about developing our boys and making improvements week on week. And you know, this week will be the same. And what it does present is opportunities for these young boys to put their hand up and show that they are capable of doing it at this level. And that, you know, like I said, we're trying our best to, you know, get that sorted as quickly as we can. It's definitely not through a lack of effort, you know.
Yeah, sure. I guess it's quite an exciting prospect that you've got Tavita coming through.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, having that experience and also the physicality you've seen around the autumn internationals, it helps bring the youngsters on as well and accelerate their development. Like we said, it's trying to get that blend of experienced players alongside youth, and you know, the young boys not only learn in terms of the coaching, it's also from their fellow professionals. And you know, that's the good thing about the senior boys, is that they appreciate the pathway. A lot of them have come through it themselves, and they understand for us to be competitive in these big tournaments and have the depth of squad, that, you know, we've got to develop players within our own environment as well. So you know, the buy-in from them is great, and that helps us with what we're trying to do.